So this is McConnell Springs Park. It's in Lexington, Kentucky. It's about an hour and a half drive for me from where I live. But they had this class that popped up on Facebook, Winter Tree ID, which caught my interest. So I came to check it out. And I noticed that they had this trail map, and if you click on it, it brings up this PDF map of the area of the trails and where things are located and everything. So it kind of jogged my memory that people have asked questions about map sheets and how to incorporate them into CalTopo. This is kind of what got everything started. And I thought I'd use this map and do a quick video on how to use map sheets and CalTopo. Now, I'll be posting this to my personal YouTube. That's where you're going to be watching it. It's KentuckyHandcrafted.com. But you may not be aware that I'm associated with an organization out of Winchester, Kentucky. It's Nature Reliance School. The owner, director, and main instructor is Craig Cottle. So be sure and check him out. It's naturereliance.org. You can find him on Instagram, YouTube, and all of those other social media places that I am not. Under normal circumstances, or what I have done in the past, if I was going to a park or a nature preserve or something like that, I would download the PDF map and have to carry it with me. With the advent of all the apps and software programs out there for mapping, you can pull these PDF maps, and it's called map sheets in CalTopo. And this PDF will act just as a map layer in that program. So that's what we plan on doing. The first thing you need to do is find the area in the map that you want to download. And I'm just going to download it. And now I have the PDF that I want to bring into CalTopo. Let's go over to CalTopo, and I'm going to start from scratch. Pull up here, and if I go to caltopo.com and pull it up, you can tell that I'm not logged in, so I'm on the free version. In order to use map sheets, you do have to have a paid version. You have to have an account, because if I click add, and if I come down here to map sheets, it says that I have to have the pro version. The pro version, let me pull this other screen in. The pro version is $50 a year. They have a free version. They have a mobile version of $20 a year. And then the pro version will allow you to have an account at your desktop or iPad Pro and that kind of stuff. Under this pro version and desktop, I have the pro again. The pro version will allow you to do map sheets. Get rid of that. The other thing that you have to have is you have to have a desktop, a laptop, iPad Pro, something like that, in order to do map sheets. You cannot incorporate map sheets with your mobile unit. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I'll cut this out so I won't show anything. So now we're logged in, and you can tell I'm logged in. It has my name up here in the top right corner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find on CalTopo, I'm going to find the McConnell Springs Park. Lexington. Let's see if I find it. It should be, yep, there it is. And it's on CalTopo. This is the CalTopo layer. It's on base layer map builder topo. If you want to do a satellite view of it, that's what it looks there. So let's go back to the map builder. Now it has the actual trails on it, but it really doesn't have the details of it. For instance, it may have some bathrooms on here. It may have some buildings on here. It may have some other things that the PDF map will show you, and it would be nice to bring all that in so you'd have it all in one place. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the first thing that you have to do in order to get map sheets working is you have to have a saved map. So if I click on add, come down here to map sheets, it's grayed out. It says saved maps only. So in order to save this map, I'm going to add a marker, and I'm usually just say delete. And I'll move this out of the way. And I'll say, okay. You have to have one object on your map in order to save it. And I'm going to say so I'm going to give it the name McConnell Springs Map. It's in mode of recreation. You can do it in SAR, search and rescue, but it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to save it to my account and save it. Now I have a saved map. Now I can bring in the map sheet. I can say add map sheet, choose the file, and we'll go to the file that we saved. And you have to give that map sheet a title. So I'm going to call it sheet, and I'm going to add it. Now it will pop up and it will say unable to locate georeferencing information. You will need to align this layer by hand, and that's what we're going to do. If this PDF was a geo PDF, meaning inside of that PDF it has the scale, the lat and long, and where it's located and orientation, it would just automatically pop in and be a overlay, a map sheet overlay, and it would be scaled correctly, it'd be aligned correctly, and you wouldn't have to do anything. But this PDF is not a georeferenced file, so we have to align it. So we'll just say okay. And I'm going to zoom out. So there's that map sheet, the PDF, and I'm going to go back over to this. You can see it is the same. It is the same PDF file, the map. And I'm going to get rid of that delete. I'm going to move it back here out of the way. Okay. So a couple things here. What I like to do is change my base layer to a Google satellite so that I can physically see what's on the ground and line it up. Down here in the bottom left, we have to fill out these references. Here's the opacity. If I turn it down to 0, that map sheet just disappears. Now I can turn it all the way back up. You will have to do this 2 or 3 times. Go back and forth, because at times you want to see the map sheet, at times you want to see the actual map itself. So we're going to start here. And what we need to do is we need to find 2 points that's on the map sheet and that's on the map itself, and identify those and line those up. So I'm thinking that, I think this is a boardwalk. I think that's what they call it, a boardwalk. And I think at the end of that would be a good reference. And then where this sidewalk trail comes into the boardwalk, that should be a good reference. Let's look and see on the map sheet. Yeah. So you can see that we have 2 areas here that should be pretty accurate. So let's start off with identifying 2 points on the map sheet. Take your cursor, put it at the very end of that boardwalk, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to say mark point 1. Now, the mark points are for the map sheet. The mark lat and long is for the map. So I'm going to identify this as point 1, and it jerks it around once you start identifying stuff. And then I'm going to come in here where the sidewalk meets the boardwalk, and I'm just going to say, if I extend that on down to right there, right click, and I'm going to say that is point number 2. And I'm going to slide back out here, and I'm going to turn that opacity way down. And then we have to go back in here and we have to find McConnell Springs. There we go. Let me zoom in. So this is the map layer. This is their boardwalk. I'm going to go to the end of it, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say that is lat and long, point number 1. And I'm going to come over here and extend this sidewalk into the boardwalk, and I'm going to click there and say that's number 2. And you can tell down here in the bottom left that it's filled out these references. You can click update every now and then, but for the most part, they will automatically update. If I turn the opacity back up, you can see that the map sheet matches up with that boardwalk. Let's check out some other areas here. Let's check out the parking lot. So the map sheet's showing 100%. If I move it down, you can see that things are lining up. Now, it's not 100% perfect. Let's see here if we can check out some of these. I'm going to go back over here to MapTopo because it had some of the trails on it. And let's see how well those matched up. So here's the map sheet. If I go down, yeah, matched up pretty good. So here's a good indication, or a good reason why bringing these map sheets in. This is 100% of the map, CalTopo. There is nothing here. All it is trail maps. If I bring in the map sheet, get it lined up. Every now and then you have to move it a little bit so that it'll pull everything around and line up properly. And you won't have to do that once it's saved. But you can tell on the map sheet, here's a barn foundation. It's marked Bur Oak here. It's got some water features here that's not on the CalTopo map. So you just get these additional features. Here's an amphitheater, I think it was. Yeah. Here's a cabin. So yeah, so it brings in these little features that's on the PDF map, but not on the actual map layer itself. So once you get satisfied that everything is lined up, well, let me get out of here. Yeah. So once you're satisfied that everything is lined up, all you have to do is save. And it will save this map sheet to this particular map inside your account. It usually takes 2 to 4 minutes, so I'll cut it off here. You won't have to watch it just sit there. You don't have to do a new map for every map sheet. I'll pull up some of my maps here in just a couple minutes. And you can have one map and you can just have tons of map sheets on them so that whenever you're out and about, you can just pull up those map sheets, trails, parks. For me, I do a lot of appraisal work. That's how I pay my bills. So I get these rural developments where they're doing subdivisions and they have surveys, and I'll take those surveys in PDF and I will bring those into CalTopo so that whenever I'm out driving out and about and I'm trying to find like lot number 15 and there is no labeling out there, I can tell whenever I get to lot 15 by driving. So I'll go ahead and, oh, there it is. It's finished. Sorry about that. I talked too much. So all you have to do is click OK. And I'm going to close this and start from scratch and show you how to pull up the map sheet for this particular map. So everything's closed. If I go into your data, here's McConnell Springs map that we saved. We're going to open it up. I'm just zooming out, moving it around a little bit. Okay, there's McConnell Springs. Again, this is just the CalTopo layer. I'm going to change it to Google Layer Satellite. Now, one thing, you do have access to Google Layers on your desktop and iPads. You do not have Google Maps on your mobile. So if you were doing mobile, you would do something like global imaging. So it'd be the same thing. It just would not be CalTopo, or it wouldn't be Google. I'm sorry. But since we got Google, we're going to use Google. We're going to come in here. Okay. So now on the right-hand side, map sheets, if I down click and down click again, there's McConnell Springs map sheet. The opacity is set to 0. As I bring that opacity up, it brings the map sheet in. So I'm going to put it roughly about 50%. And I'll show you on my phone here in just a second. It works exactly the same way. If I'm on my phone, you know how you have the little blue dot that shows your location as you're driving in? It would show you pulling in. It'd show you parking. And then as you're walking, that little blue dot would just go right over this map sheet as if it is the map itself. So that if you wanted to find that barn structure, I think that's what it's called, barn foundation, then you could pull up the opacity, find it, and your little blue dot location dot would just be moving along with you, and it would pull you right into it. So that's map sheets, how to pull them in. Now let's go over into, let's close this out, and I'll pull you up a map that that I have. Your data. Here's a plat map. So what I've done is I have taken, move it out here a little bit. So I do a lot of appraisal work in the Red River Gorge area, Powell, Wolf, Lee, Menifee, and there's a tremendous amount of cabin rental developments going on. So they do a survey. I get my hand on the survey. I try to get a hold of the surveyor. They will email me a PDF, or I can just take a picture. It doesn't have to be a PDF. I can actually take a picture, JPEG, PNG, pull it in and do the exact same thing. Find 2 points on the picture, find 2 points on the map, and line them up, and it pulls it right in as a map sheet. But let's say that, here's one that I did the other day. I had some work to do in Shawnee Run. So I put my map around the Shawnee Run. I come over here to stack map sheets and down screen, and hopefully there's a Shawnee Run there. Now the opacity is at 0. If I put that up to 100, you can see that sheet, that survey sheet. And if I pull it down a little bit and zoom in, I'm going to move the, I am going to do satellite here because they already have some cabins here. I wanted you to see. So I'm just going to play with the opacity, move it in and out, and it just overlays that map sheet on your map. So again, if I was trying to find lot 14 on my phone, CalTopo app open, Shawnee Run sheet open, it would just show my little blue dot location. It would show it driving in, and I could just drive right to the point to where I was looking at lot 14, and I know that I was in the right spot. Whenever I was out the other day, I recorded a little bit of a phone screen recording of this area. So I'll play that now. And I have my iPhone open, and I'm going to pull up the McConnell Springs map, and I do that by clicking the menu in the top left, going into your maps, and finding McConnell Springs, tapping on it, and now it's open. Although it's not centered on it, I can pinch out to where I find it and then zoom back in. Or if you remember, we had this little marker called delete. If I hit this little envelope up here and click on delete, it takes me to that point, and then I can zoom right into McConnell Springs. Now, to get the map sheet working, I click on the top right for layers. There's my stack map. Down click McConnell Springs, and it defaults to 100. We'll take a look at it. So there's our map sheet, and if we go back into it, I can turn it down to, let's say, 50%. If I want to change the underlying map or the base map, I can go in here and come back into some type of global. Remember, on iPhones, we don't have Google. So there's that. And there you go. And then again, if I was using this to navigate, even as I was driving, the little icon would come in and show us and walk right to it. Good deal. Okay. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, drop a message, send me a message. And if this is something that people want more detail on how to do or detailed questions, let me know and I can make another video.